Hey everyone, I'm Case Aiken, and I am continuing this day of the week thing. So next up is Wednesday, and that is a day named after Odin of Norse mythology, the Sky Father. But due to his trickster nature and tendency to appear just all over the place, he's considered more of a parallel to Mercury, actually, rather than Zeus. And yes, this is in fact a Superman analog video. Bear with me. Now, I could talk about characters who had direct ties with Mercury, but I wanted to take this opportunity to elaborate a point I've made oftentimes on both Men of Steel and various other shows, and that is a good Flash story is a good Superman story. Speedsters have drawn iconography from Hermes since the earliest days, but his roles in stories fit a very specific style of Superman type. With their vast speed, speedsters are effectively unstoppable and empowered to solve the problems that they are presented with imaginative but impossible solutions. Going back to the earliest days of comics with characters like the Flash, Whizzer, or Johnny Quick. While their power sets tend to be more limited, I can easily reference plenty of speedsters that are capable of flight in addition to moving fast, such as the aforementioned Johnny Quick, or North Star. North Star actually has a secondary power where he becomes more invulnerable the faster he goes. Plus, once you get into the details of punching someone at super speed, it's basically the same thing as punching someone with super strength. What I'm getting at is that characters with impossible speeds are capable of solving anything, and only being impeded by very specific things that can defeat them. Most of these guys can catch bullets, which, from a narrative standpoint, effectively is the same thing as having it bounce off their chest. On top of that, speedsters usually are associated with optimism. Even the angriest and most impatient ones are still doing things that the human mind can't wrap their head around. It's a power fantasy, and it's one in the exact same way as Superman, even if it's a bit more specific. And while the list of vulnerabilities for a character like that is a little bit longer, just by virtue of their powers not being as broad as Superman's, the fact that their potential is so deep makes them effectively the same archetype here. For me, the classic example of Superman's potential is the story where he ends World War II in one page. It's not the best Superman story, but it's the most pure expression of the ideas in all of its rawness that are Superman. Stories like that are exactly why we tune into The Flash. I mean, this is a minor spoiler, but I absolutely will not be discussing the Hulk as part of this series. And that is because it's not about just being strong. It's about how power works in terms of the story that is being told and the fantasy being presented. And a fact that is somewhat underrated is that while Superman is the prototype for costume heroes and the Fantastic Four kicked the conventions of the genre to the curb, it was The Flash that launched the Silver Age of comics. The fantasy is so engaging. Nika Howard modeled her character on Greetings Adventurers after it. The thing people remember about Zach Morris is a version of this. The first thing we bring up when we talk about Superman is that he is faster than a speeding bullet. And I'm not going to go into specific characters. There have been a ton of super speedsters with distinct styles that were created as homages to the Flash, such as the Blitz or Inertia or Fastback. But we need to take that step back and look at it as a broader concept. And I really wanted to bring up that the Flash is a distillation of the Superman archetype. And I couldn't be going on all these months talking about Superman weekly on this weird website without bringing that up. This video series started off as an ongoing series of Twitter threads cataloging the various Superman analogs that came to my brain space meat thing. There's a link in the description below. Also, I have a podcast about Superman stuff. It's called Men of Steel. Check it out. You can find it at certainpov.com. Also at certainpov.com, you can find tons of other great shows, some of which I host, many of which I don't, but they're all great. Check them out. Also do the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Do it all. Do the things. Talk to you later.